Hey yo, quick question. When you think of the Soviet Union, what do you think? Communism, bears, vodka, starvation? But what if I told you that there is this underrated Armenian gem just hiding in plain sight? The Rafik Ordyan GT77. As I was researching about this, I realized that, damn, this should be something that has to be seen. Maybe because I'm Armenian, and as a fellow Armenian myself, I would love to see my country pop up even more. I mean, though, seriously, this is something that deserves a historical deep dive. In Chasem, buckle up, we're entering the Soviet Union. Get your mandarin and Duet coffees ready. Also, please do not throw your Duet coffees away. They are putting Duet coffees in freaking Biogat cups. Keep the original ones. Sell it in 10 years and make profit. Infinite money glitch. В общем, back to the video. The year is 1977 and you see this orange car wandering around the streets of Yerevan. What you see is the first and the last ever Armenian sports car, the Rafik Ordyan's GT77. Well, who made it? I mean, logical, Rafik Ordyan. An Armenian car enthusiast who made this car on his own at his basement and somehow became the main rival in the Soviet auto industry. Rafik Ordyan was born in Bert, located in the Tavush district of Armenia. However, he himself wasn't from there. He was from Ordubad, Nakhichevan, which explains where his last name Ordyan comes from. This dude was the OG science and engineering enthusiast, which automatically makes him insanely based. Rafik consumed magazines such as the Юный Техник, Знание Сила, Техника Молодежи, which gave him an insane boost. And I gotta add this too. Bro was so legendary in his field that at just the age of 8, he managed to create FM radios from scratch using household parts, gifting them to his friends and relatives. When Rafik became 14, he got inspired by this article featuring a young Siberian 62 handmade experimental vehicle, and he was like, damn, what if I made my own car? Ordyan studied cybernetics in the Yerevan Polytechnic Institute because Polytechnic Sovoroch Tarentagaya. This is exactly where his obsession with cars and engineering deepened. And in 1971, he turned his basement into a workshop and went to work. The ceiling was low, sure, but this didn't bother him much because, let me tell you this, if you love what you do, your conditions won't matter that much. I literally deal with consistent video editing to provide you banger content weekly. It can be time consuming, but hey, I love my work. And love in whatever you do matters more. That's just how it is. В общем, back to the car. He Viz Drats poured every spare moment to his project. Even worked at the Soviet Ministry of Transportation and rose to the lead engineer. Bro was so locked in that even his friends told him to stop working, but he refused. Rafik said that he wanted to make something that will be distinct from others. And at the end of the day, his friends joined him too. В общем, about the car. The GT77 had a 47 horsepower engine borrowed from a Skoda 1202. Too slow, but damn yet axpers. This was what it was available. The steering and rear end components were borrowed from a Moskvich 412, and the rest was basically custom built. The design too was way ahead of its time. It was low, aerodynamic, and Kayfarik. Innovative too. The interior looked so futuristic that it even stunned the Soviets. His design seemed to be the right contrast against the Soviet blocky cars like Ladas and Volgas. Many thought that it was factory made, but the truth is it was made by this one guy at home, at his basement. A true Armenian supercar with its essence and vibe. And so the time came for the Soviet Grand Prix, officially known as the All-Union Exhibition of Science and Technical Creativity of the Youth. It makes sense why Soviet names are abbreviated. I mean, have a look. USSR 2, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and Russia's name is like a full-on tongue twister. Like, what is Российско-Советский Федеративный, something like that. Never mind. Damn it, axpers. No wonder why they had to abbreviate everything. Loshem. Rafik's GT attracted designers from the Zaporozhets automobile plant, who took notes on its instrument layout, while Yerevan factory specialists were stunned. Professionals literally admitted that they must learn from amateurs themselves. This is exactly where the first original Fast and Furious took place before the entire, Western adaptation came. And I gotta say this, if Vin Diesel was Armenian, he would be Rafik Ordyan. Mainly because of the car thing. I mean, that's a joke. Get it? В общем, the race was from Moscow to Sevastopol, and needless to say, this machine did its job pretty well. And the fact that they never touched upon this when making the Fast and Furious movie is a real shame. It must happen. Yes, that's ofitsal haytararum. After the success in the Soviet Grand Prix, he took the car to Yerevan and planned to take it to Yeraz, the Yerevan automobile factory, for small-scale production. They were like, yeah, that's cool, but Moscow needs to give the final voice. I mean, it was a general rule of thumb that if you create something in the Soviet Union, Moscow must approve it, otherwise you're cooked, my guy. And as the news went to Moscow, they were like, nah dude, Yeraz cannot do this because they only can make commercial vans. Unofficially though, growing sluchne rose on this. Gossip, silly. They were like, the car is pretty much too Western, too individual, and too capitalist for the Soviets. I call this obizhnikutsun at its finest because it was truly one hell of a banger. And what the Soviets did is limiting our man to one single design. However, just a year later from all this, Rafik was struck with a heart illness. It was curable, but the care had to go to Moscow. And there they prescribed him medications that were far stronger for his condition. He told his relatives that the Russians were literally making him pass out using medicine. And on May 31st, 1979, Rafik passed away at just 30 years old. Turns out, the Armenian doctor who diagnosed him was right all along. After his death, the entire project shut down. Productions and thoughts of it were cancelled overnight, leaving us with one unique car. The original car exists and is preserved by the Ordyan family in Yerevan. In 2009, a restoration project began to mark the 30th anniversary of its creator's passing. Afbenerjan, Ordyan's G77 was one indeed legend, something truly original if we compare to many Soviet cars. Never back down, Armenian. Never stop creating. Keep doing what you love and you will reach your ultimate goal. Since Baner, the one and only Rafik Ordyan with his banger car. I hope you liked the video. Make sure to smash that like button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Davайте Armenian is hella.
Չմոռանանք, որ միշտ կա մի մարդ, որ չի ուզում մեր լավը։ Իսկ ով չի ուզում մեր լավը։ Ինչ եղել է թող անցած լինի։ Ինչ լինում է թող ժեշտին լինի, թող ապագաս լինի բենզինը, չմաշվի անի ռեզինը։ Ճանապարհը թող ազատ լինի։ Դոլարի նման կանաչ լինի, ու թող ցերեկը եւ գիշերը, ամփորձակ լինի քեզ